Welcome. I call the meeting to order of the Rutland Regional Planning Commission Executive Finance Committee today, Tuesday, October 14th, and we're starting at 5:36. That's what I've got. And we have a quorum. So first thing on our agenda is approval of the agenda for today. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda or any needs for any changes?
I so move.
Thank you,
second.
Bob. Thank you. Erica, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, it's unanimous. Agenda is adopted. Next is approval of the September 8th minutes. They got a chance to review them. And are there any needs for any changes, or otherwise I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as written.
So moved.
Thank you, Larry. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Bob. Second by Bob. All in favor to approve the minutes as written, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Awesome. Moving on. Open to the public, and we have nobody present unless they're invisible. So moving right on to the August financial report. Devin, would you?
Yep,
Provide?
so we're actually gonna skip that. My financial report won't include August, but it will include, basically, we are in the middle of audit right now.
Right.
So I asked MK to skip this month. She submitted all her audit materials yesterday or last night.
Nice.
And it looks like, you know, it keeps getting bumped up a little earlier and earlier, so it is a challenge to try to meet all the deadlines, but you know, MK has been here a lot, doing all the work, that great work that she always does to prepare for the audit, and Anna Maria and Karen have both been tremendous helps this year. So we're feeling good about things. It should be buttoned up earlier this year, but we will plan to present and vote to accept the audit report at our December meeting.
Sounds
I
good.
noticed last year when I did my report, that form I have to fill out, I had to send it directly to the auditor.
Yes,
It's like, you know, they don't want it going here or anything.
exactly.
This year is different. It went here first.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
And it was the same exact form, right? Because I fill out the same one.
Yeah,
that
there
you
might have
do.
been one more question and
Yeah. There's a management review form. I think you did one in the past
Yeah.
potentially.
so it's right, same question. So
Yeah,
I've got it in Google Docs. I go in, change the date.
yeah. Some things seem to be tweaked every year by the auditor, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
I think there was a new question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Just to see if you're awake.
Yeah, yeah.
based on everything we're seeing, I don't expect any findings like usual. MK is always on top of it. So more to come. We'll probably double up monthly reports in November.
Staying on budget with the audit, hopefully. Last year came up higher.
Yes, so this year is on budget. Next year, this is our third year of 3 for that contractual period, so we will have to go out for RFP again. Be great if we could get another.
You know, many out there. now.
No. And I've heard some horror stories from other folks, so we'll take what we can get. And next year, it's very likely that we could be in single audit territory, which would be much bigger, as you guys know,
Mhm.
and more expensive. So
Yeah.
we'll look to probably issue that RFP sometime this winter. One thing I am keen on adding to the RFP is strict language on the timing. I'm really unhappy with us being asked by the auditor to push up the timeline year over year. You know, in the past, we didn't even really get into this until like late October, early November. And now it's like we had everything in early October. So it's like, you know, we just barely close out the books and we're right into it. So we'd like to see a little bit more consistency in
You
that.
say what the
schedule.
reasons that pushing it up, because
Vacation.
that's what I
Going
said
on
to Mary Kay,
vacation.
didn't we just do
That was
that?
ours.
Yeah. What was that again?
Yeah, we had
She's
the
going
same
on
thing.
vacation.
Oh, well.
And like, I get it, you know, and never is a good
Yeah.
time for an accountant, but you know, audit season and tax season seems like Maybe avoid those time of years, but either way, not my business. So that's it for financial report. Everything looks
Okay.
good, you know, budget wise. We are still, one thing to note, we are still unsure of whether we're getting our emergency management planning grant. We submitted our application. It looked like it was gonna happen, and now it looks like potentially the entire state of Vermont won't get their money, which all of Vermont emergency management runs off of this grant. So it would be real detrimental to.
It's a
to the state.
requirement for a town to have it in case something happens and.
Yeah.
FEMA comes in.
Well, they're
and
not
goes for it.
funding local hazard mitigation plans either, so yeah,
Well,
it's an issue.
Yeah, we're working on ours.
Yes, we're trying to get you a municipal planning grant. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Okay, moving on, executive director's report. You're up again.
sure. Guess I'll share this, that way you guys can see it, but I will obviously have it in the packet for next week. So a follow-up on Verda. So there's a Verda Reimagining Rural Capacity Summit on November 13th at VTSU Randolph. This is meant to be the sort of follow-up to that Verda public engagement that some of you participated in. It sounds like a great event. I'm sad I'm gonna miss it. I'll be in Florida. But we're gonna try to get the word out, you know, over the next few weeks to try to get as many folks from our region up there as possible. So this is really the sort of bookend to the engagement that will then feed into the report that'll be due at the end of the year. So exciting stuff there. Another call for regional priority projects for Cedar in the RPC. We're collecting those again, so it's just a call. I put it in our newsletter. You know, we had several. In the past, it was mostly businesses, private economic development stuff, and now we're seeing more towns put in applications for public projects. So trying to encourage as many folks to do that as possible.
where would the funding come for that? Or what-
Usually you're getting priority on Northern Borders Regional Commission grants. You all know this, but I'll let everyone, or just for the record, the Land Use Review Board, two Land Use Review Boards. So the first one, you guys do not know this one because it hasn't been sent out yet. So Tier 3 draft rules, they're holding 4 public engagement sessions throughout the state, and one is at our office on the 22nd. Basically, this is draft 2 out of 4. The Land Use Review Board is trying to get as much feedback from towns as to how they want to see Tier 3 or provide input on the mapping for Tier 3. Obviously, as a reminder, Tier 3 are those critical natural resource areas. That'll be an overlay to our map. So I'll be pushing this out more, but I thought it was worthwhile to note since we are one of the hosts, both hybrid, so in person and remote is an option.
But in the newsletter, which I saw that email come in and I did not read it. Is
This
that
was
new
not in the
news? I haven't
newsletter
seen
because this
anything
came
about
out.
this.
We just got the
Yes, okay.
agenda this week,
Okay.
so I didn't put it in, but I'll probably send out a special notice on this one.
Yeah. Well, my commissioners are interested at least.
Good, yeah, especially towns like Shrewsbury that
Yeah,
could have a
exactly.
significant portion mapped as Tier 3. We want everyone out. Obviously, Thursday is the big, did this get doubled?
We're big.
Yeah, somehow that got doubled. I'm sorry.
Well,
Must have
you're looking-
overwritten it.
When do they hold those meetings? Evenings or daytime?
For this one, it'll be evening, 6 to 8 p.m. And obviously our meeting this Thursday, the pre-application hearing is from 12 to 4 and then 4 to 6. So hopefully you all have gotten plenty of word. I've put it on Front Porch Forum,
It's everywhere.
Facebook, all over the place. So we have quite a few people interested, and then all of the towns with stops on them either commissioners, town managers, planning commission members are joining from that town to speak on the mapping, so that's great. We have those confirmed. Just noting the municipal complete streets training coming up next week as well. And that's all.
Back to LURB, the meeting is gonna be here from 4 to 6. What can we expect?
Yeah, so the 4 to 6 meeting will be interesting because it's sort of, it's a continuation of the site visits, but we'll have a half an hour to present and we'll present really on the whole plan, because so much of this so far has been focused on the map, and we're trying to push back and say, hey, the map implements the policies of the plan, don't discredit the plan. Look at it holistically. So we're gonna try to provide some context.
Yeah.
There will be a half an hour of LURB questions from the members of the board. There'll be a half an hour for questions from state agency partners. And there'll be a half an hour of questions from the public. So I imagine it's gonna be pretty rapid fire. And I think we'll mostly be the ones answering those questions, but it could be about process too, asking the LURB about their process. So we've already received some comments from state agency partners, primarily Department of Housing, Community Development. And the comments were super reasonable, right in line with what we thought we would hear. So it'll be interesting. First through the door, always is.
And I'm not focusing on the map, like you said.
Yeah.
Is it packed full? And are any of you guys going on the tour?
I was going till I found out you were going, so.
You're
No,
going?
but I'll be here 4 to 6. You're
I
going.
don't know if
right?
the bus is packed or
If
not.
it's
Oh.
packed, I don't have to go.
I don't think it will
I
be.
didn't have
I think there will
anything
maybe
else
be 20 people on the
interested,
bus.
curious.
No, I think you should come
Yeah, sure.
if you're willing and you want to,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
as chair. Yeah.
The 4
yeah,
to
sure.
6 meeting, is there virtual access for that one?
There is, and there's a Teams link in that agenda that I sent.
Okay. Perfect.
Great, that's all. I'm not trying to cover everything. There's quite a few announcements and fun things in the newsletter. So
Okay, well, Devin, you're on again for regional plan update.
yeah, really, it's the LURB. There's nothing really else to report on right now, other than that pre-application hearing. And then, we're expecting comments back in mid-November, and that's when we'll try to reconvene and share what we're hearing, what changes we want to make before the first public hearing.
So if they come back with something where they really are strongly suggesting a change, and you feel strongly that what you present is the way it should remain, what's the process there? Do you kind of give in to what they want, or
Yeah.
I mean, if you refuse to do it, it just. I don't
From
know
what
how it works.
from what I'm hearing, the plan itself, they're going to be extremely deferential to the RPCs. As long as you met the statute, which
Oh, yeah.
it's clear we met it, they're not going to bug us too much on. They have certain questions, but I don't think any of that will matter. I think when it comes to the map, it's going to be a real challenge, because we have to balance the LURB accepting the plan at the end of the day, and not every town getting the benefit that we're hoping through Act 250. Balancing that with what our towns are hoping and expecting based on our engagement process. So, we will not submit a map and a plan that we know the LURB won't approve. That just seems
Okay,
like a
yeah.
fool's errand. However, if they're leaving the door open for argument's sake or for further interpretation or discussion, we may put our foot through that door and see if we can sort of get a little bit of breathing room. But I think we're gonna have to take it in stride. So, I think we have to play by the land use review board rules, but if we're feeling really strongly on something and feel as though it won't limit our ability to get the plan approved, then I think we'll probably pursue it. So, that's also where you guys will be really valuable in us not making all those revision decisions on our own, but at least you all being aware of like, here are the comments from the LRB. Here's what we know we have to fix. Here are some gray areas. Here's where we can just say, okay, thank you, but no, thank you. So,
Okay. And the Lord may come back and said, you know, what you've got here, this is the way we want it, and there's no option.
I am
Did they do that?
hoping the comments will be that explicit. That's what we need
Yeah, I mean,
ultimately.
it's-
And you know, we can follow up with the LRB too. Janet, who's the chair, is our sort of like point of contact. So I have no problem going to her and being like, is this a must or not? You know, we need to know. So that's a great question, Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they know what they're looking for and they've got their checkpoint and
Yeah.
this is the way, this is what came down from the legislature and this is what's required and you kind of sitting here on the fence a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now-
we need more bite on this, you need to
Yes.
come over here.
There's one other element,
And that's where
To
you
this-
fight with your towns because of
right?
it's all different here.
And there's one other element to consider, which is not something I'm banking on, but definitely something I'm thinking about, which is if through our efforts and then Northwest RPCs and Chittenden County RPCs, we're experiencing the same thing. And VAPTA says, hey, we think this should be a legislative correction. And we pursue that correction this legislative session. You know, the timing is a little tenuous,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
ultimately, could we seek like some corrections to the legislation that would enable our plan to be adopted, you know, later this year? The problem is our adoption date comes before when bills are typically signed, so that's a little concerning. So yeah, we'll see. Ultimately,
Where it goes.
it's already clear that there's going to be many different interpretations of what statute is actually saying you're allowed to map and not. So that'll be the interesting sort of crux of it.
Be really interesting if the towns can get into it and say, nope.
I know, yeah. Because my thought, and we did try to communicate this in our meetings with you all in the towns, was, hey, we'll do what you want if it meets the law, but if the LRB comes back and says no, we're sorry, but we have to go with the LRB. So we have tried to tee that up, but we'll see where that goes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, next on the agenda is the October Board of Commissioners agenda.
Yes, so it's looking pretty light. As of right now, I don't have any Act 250 applications. I looked this morning, no major applications. And the only Section 248 projects, it's only one, and it's that Castleton Tower project that we already reviewed. And I honestly can't remember, I'll have to look. Did we formally submit comments to that or not? I thought we had.
I thought we had to.
So I will look and find out. Because if we hadn't, we probably should, but I know we did, we mentioned something.
Yeah.
So, in terms of community committee, still no town plans. There's several going through sort of the adoption process now, but they won't be ready for November. Or for October, maybe November. So no community committee meeting. I am curious, you know, we kind of got away from presentations from partners or in areas of interest to the commissioners. Is that something we want to bring back? Is that something that you think would be of interest to the Board of Commissioners? Remember in the past, we've either done like staff would come in and present on their program, or we would have some partner present on like Lars would come in, or not Lars, Jens, and talk about like community value mapping, or Dark Sky Alliance came and talked about, you know, light pollution. Just curious, like, do you think we should be looking at changing up the meeting model again at all and adding in some supplemental pieces to it? Or it's like, do our business and get out of there. What do you guys think?
Personally speaking, I think right now, in this climate and everything, do the business and get out.
Yeah. Less
I'm
is
kinda
more.
thinking, I like doing the extra things,
Mm.
nothing, like last meeting went really long, right?
It did go long,
We were here
and I liked,
an
I really,
There was a little piece that you did about the
Yes,
traffic.
I
that was
loved it. That was
excellent.
a
Yeah,
great round. That
That
was
was
like
a really
the type
good-
of commissioner roundtable
I-
we'd like to
Yeah,
have more of.
yeah,
So if we can carve out something like that, more than presentations, because I do feel largely that if folks want to access that, it's more than accessible, like trainings and conferences and webinars, it's all out there. Do we need to act in that space and provide that as well, beyond what we normally do?
I'd rather, if we're gonna do it, I'd rather do it with like our group. So like
Yeah.
you did the traffic thing,
Mhm.
like you said, Jens do the community values. No, I'm gonna do the
You do it.
community, because we
Yeah.
just did it in Shrewsbury.
Yes.
It'll be a 10-minute presentation. It won't be.
I like
an
that,
hour.
Laura, because I do
I
think
miss the
people,
dark sky. I'm interested, but
yeah, that was,
That was good.
that was cool, and it was
I miss
John,
that.
you know, John McCann
John
from Mount
McCann,
Holly?
yeah, no, I'm-
Yeah, he's,
uh,
he
been
could present on
communicated.
it. He and I did some work on it not too long ago, which was super fun. And what's interesting is like Rutland City has the comparable light pollution of Burlington, even though we're less than half their size.
Well,
One of
who's
your
gonna mention the
predecessors
mayor?
years ago, Mark Goodwin, who was a commissioner from Shrewsbury, I don't think he ever
Right.
spoke about complaining about light pollution.
Not that I know
I know, I
anything.
never. we
Yeah,
didn't really-
Oh, it was
Yeah.
constant, it just,
Yeah.
he ended up there somehow.
yes,
Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah. So
Anyway,
I like that. I do think our passive approach, and I say mine, passive approach to seeking that sort of like commissioner roundtable has not beared fruit in that way. I think it needs to be cultivated a little bit more intentionally. We can't all pray for a Larry to pull out a gem every week or month, you know what I
I
mean?
can make stuff up.
I know you can, and I'm sure it's very believable. But that, to me, that was the exact type of thing people really perked up, because like everyone has speed limits. Most people have
Yeah,
state highways,
yeah.
and it's a bone of contention. So, what are those other issues or opportunities that people like? Ooh, I have that. I want to learn more. You know, because I think community values mapping thing is right up there. I'm sure there's stuff in Wallingford, even if it's like a single. I go back to like the chickens thing.
Oh, please.
You know, even a single provision in a set of zoning bylaws could be like a really interesting topic point. And we're not not trying to fill an hour, right? We're trying to fill 15, 20 minutes,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
right,
We used to have guest speakers years ago, I think
Yes,
every
yes,
meeting.
Yes.
Yeah, we did. We definitely
And
did.
it was always an hour and a half
Mhm.
easily meeting, you never got out of there before
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Which is tough in the winter time when it gets dark and
gonna
you're in your
say,
chair watching the weather,
In the-
trying to get everyone
Oh,
out of
yeah.
time
there,
of
so.
year, yeah, it makes
Yeah.
a difference too.
Yeah, and I think if it's from within the group, like, I wasn't here, but you're talking community values, talking chickens in Wallingford, talking, it, she's moved, so we don't have that. But it lends itself more than to have somebody from the outside come in and say, well, this is what we're doing and everything. You know, it's one of us having the problem. I go to
It's
Rotary.
way more relatable.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
go to Rotary conventions because I have to. And our Rotary's 12 people. We're one of the smallest ones, and yet you're sitting there listening to somebody that has a membership of 125 people. None of it applies to us.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
And-
kind of glaze over. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's a little extreme, but I think sometimes you get somebody coming in thinking, well, this is it, but how does it relate to Wallingford? How does it relate to Hubbardton? You know, how
Right.
does it relate to,
Yeah.
Yeah, some
you
people-
know, Mendon?
yeah.
It doesn't.
I think that is
Rutland
especially
County
true
issue,
for
yeah.
Rutland County.
Yeah.
I do think,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, even us accessing like VLCT trainings and state level programs, Rutland County tends not to do that as much because they want to seemingly to be a little bit more insular and do it
Right.
more homegrown. So
Well,
Um,
and again, but you're talking Burlington, you're talking Bennington, you're talking Burlington. Burlington's a big city compared to us.
oh,
And it's not just
absolutely.
the city, the surrounding towns, it's just one massive area.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. So, no,
So
I like the idea of maybe a commissioner has an issue and wants to get some input.
mhm.
I'm almost hoping that you and your staff might just know. something
And sort of
going on
call on somebody or
with
like
with
a little
every town.
early
No, let them
before
know, yeah,
ahead of the meeting.
like
Yeah.
contact them ahead and say,
Yeah, let me work that into my process.
Yeah.
And try to do that because we know of dozens and dozens of things happening, and if somebody can speak to it, that would be great.
and I can do the community values. October wouldn't be great. We're just
'Cause-
trying to wrap it up now.
Yeah, next
But,
SETI's working on maps,
Would
right,
it be better
in November.
to do it in November
Okay,
for me?
that would be awesome. I can find something for October if we can bank on something like that for November. Unless Drea, Erica, Bob have anything for October. Is there anything you guys are working on? Not really?
Drought report.
Yeah,
Everybody's gonna be, oh my
No,
God.
we're quiet. We didn't even meet in October. We're not meeting until January.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is quiet.
Most of the work's done in the committee meetings before, if you happen to have one.
Right.
So full board, it's a formality of approving different things, and other than
Yeah, I would like to,
throwing something in,
yeah, that's why having it be at least,
you gotta make it interesting at some
venue,
point,
yeah.
otherwise people drop off. Why am I
Right.
doing this?
right, and engaging those members that either are always online and a little bit more quiet, or, you know what I mean? I feel like this could be a way to sort of say, hey, and I know with the original intent with the Commissioner Roundtable, it was to pick somebody every month and be like, okay, you're coming next month with this
Right.
thing.
What's going on in your town?
Yeah, which we could do that, whether people really feel like forcing it might be a challenge.
Or you got commissioners, I hope nobody has anything for the round table, because it's time to go.
Yeah, right,
Or like that.
Or you have the other, would you please just get to your point?
yeah,
Yeah, that's like, yeah, Transportation Advisory Committee, yeah.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, please, I get that at home. Thank you very much.
Oh,
That and the solid waste.
Oh, yeah.
oh, yeah, yeah. That's an issue, yeah.
Like how to tickle people either with an email
Yes.
or at the next meeting.
Mhm.
And I think they can be really little things.
I think they're
You know,
better
like-
as little things,
yeah.
yeah.
I think of, so like I would throw out there, okay, Shrewsbury, this has been interesting to me because I'm an electrical person, but Green Mountain Power is burying.
Oh, they're
bunch of
doing
their
your
lines.
resiliency work,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
that's a
I've been
big, yeah.
watching that, been really interested.
Mhm.
I think that it's related to, well, it sort of is related. On the same road, there's been like a huge timber project going on. And
Okay,
then a neighbor called me, because I'm planning, they're asking, do we have a noise ordinance in town? And these trucks are coming over the road at log trucks.
oh, yeah.
Are coming over the road, stuff like that.
Mhm.
And our select board did get involved. But it's a
I-
little bitty story,
Right.
but that noise, traffic,
Resilience,
utility.
right
going
away,
on,
yeah.
What's
yep.
going on with all the timber projects.
I think that's
I
a
think it's
perfect
stuff
example.
like that, yeah.
Or, ask the commissioners, what would you like? What would you like here? Or you won't get a response, but,
Right,
yeah,
Well,
what did you?
two things
what would
about
you like
that.
to hear?
One is, we have decided, we took that strategic assessment of BAFTA last year and we used it for our retreat this year. And now we have all these like priorities we're trying to pursue. One is we're developing a communication strategy. And part of that strategy, we want to do an annual survey, each RPC of all our towns and commissioners, that every September, whenever it is, towns and commissioners can expect this survey from us year over year, and we'll just compare it and compare it and compare it.
Mm.
And one of those survey questions could be about the board, like, because I did this when I was running TAC. You guys might remember of like, what do you want to see? And it was really helpful. They prioritize like, here are the topics we want to see.
Yeah.
I am very aware, acutely aware of how survey fatigued our region is, mainly because of us with all the regional plan work. So I'm not trying to jump on that right away, but I do think we could do something really light and easy of just our commissioners. Say, how are meetings going? What do you want to see different? What topics are of interest? You know, do you want to join a committee, that sort of thing? So I think that would work as well.
Yeah, but you could do a survey like that at the beginning of a meeting and just say, hey, during the meeting, could you fill this out? and
Yeah.
Send it back in.
Yeah, like those Menti polls, right? That are like interactive. Yeah. Yeah.
They're here.
Mhm.
Not do you want to join a committee?
Which
Which-
committee?
Yeah, which-
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and the other thing is, I think when I have to do surveys or when I was doing surveys, one of the things that was the biggest complaint was you want me to give you some ideas of topics. I have absolutely no idea, but if you throw in a couple just to kind of pick, you know.
Right.
That's
Give me
what I
something to
was
react
getting
to.
at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like noise ordinance, try 6 o'clock in the morning on Route 7 as they're going in front of your butt and in front of your house at 45 miles an
Oh,
hour at a 30 without a muffler.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the issue, it was the time, like,
Mhm.
it's fine if they start at 7, they have to start at 6, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of towns do it,
Yeah, well, we do too. The problem is, we don't have a
no enforcement.
correct. I would love to get out there one of these days with something, you know, overnight with these big trucks going through and just watch them as they try to go over up a speed bump at
Mhm.
45 miles an hour when the speed limit in front of my house is 25. No, 30, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Either case, it's gonna be interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's helpful. I appreciate the conversation. The other thing I wanted to ask, you know, is there any value, you know, we did the attendance report for last year. Is there any value in sharing that or discussing it at the board level? Or is it really like too much of a naughty and nice list for folks? Because it is interesting, you know, the breakdown is very interesting. We had 2 towns without any participation at all, West Haven and Middletown Springs. I sent letters to them twice last year to the select board to say, hey, we haven't seen anybody in a while, because one of the towns, no, both of these towns didn't have anybody last year either for the whole year. So 2 full years without any representation. I know they're both very small, so it's probably a challenge to get somebody in that space, but I think it's interesting to see, if nothing else internally, like, okay, who's participating, which towns are participating and which are not. So maybe just use it for our own executive committee usage, and whether we sort of decide to approach a town about, you know, getting somebody in or replacing a commissioner or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it did work in Fairhaven. You know, they hadn't had representation for a couple of years, so I wrote a letter, and now we've seen Bob a lot show up to those meetings. So,
Some of the select boards probably don't really know if they appoint someone, if they don't follow to see if they attend or
No.
not, even
no,
remotely, or.
and they have so many appointments already
Yeah,
that,
well, it's hard to fill
Yeah.
positions.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Overall, I'm
Usually-
really happy with it. I mean, our average, you know, is fairly decent, so,
You have anyone from West Haven on our Otter Creek?
Yeah, and I was just thinking that. Wasn't it Cheryl? And Cheryl, then she's, you know, also the
Yeah, she's
treasurer
in
and town
TAC too.
clerk.
Yeah.
and da-da-da.
oh, Carrie,
And,
Murray?
you know, wasn't it the name?
oh, Cheryl Murray's been,
Cheryl Murray.
Yeah, Well,
No, Benson, oh,
that's Benson, her husband's on our Otter Creek.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is
West
Benson.
Haven,
Yeah,
so then
There's-
West Haven, okay, then
See-
they have not been good, but we've
they're
gotten them
so
to
small,
come.
but
yeah,
yeah,
they're very small. 250
yeah.
people or so.
At least you have a quorum.
Yeah, yes.
We did something tricky. It's not in statute, but can we turn the recording off now? Well, it's not, it doesn't say you can't do this. So we said you, if you don't appoint someone, then you can be, did I call them, a district non-member town.
Yes, sure.
You're still.
You don't
in the
count towards
district.
quorum.
I'll still send you the annual report, but it doesn't count toward a quorum.
I think that's fair.
Now we
Yeah.
have 4 towns drop out and now it's pretty easy to have a quorum.
Good.
In the city, no one ever attends from Rutland City. Yeah,
Alright,
Okay.
cool. Let's see.
So keep going.
Yep.
Next is strategic planning.
Yep.
Can I just mention, it is 6:12. 2 of us have 7 o'clock meetings and have to drive.
Yeah, but I have nothing for
25
the
minutes,
strategic
so.
planning. It's just to
Okay.
keep it on here.
All right.
But we do have a quick executive session,
Okay.
so you probably want.
So move, nothing for strategic, moving on to executive session.
Yep.
Devin, can you describe the?
Yep, so this
why we're
would
going into
be,
executive session?
the motion would be, I move that the board enter into executive session under 1 VSA section 313A1E to discuss pending or probable civil litigation or prosecution to which the public body is or may be a party, and where premature public knowledge clearly places the public body or person at a disadvantage.
Wow, so also move. Whatever you just said.
Is there a second? To go into executive session for the reasons that Devin just described.
Dre's gonna second, I think.
Dre seconded.
Thank you, Dre.
All,
All in favor to go into executive session, please say aye.
I,
Alrighty, please stop the recording. And